they're bitter at each other, right? They can't work together. It's totally ineffective. When you see that, how could that possibly end up in a success, right? It's really, diminishingly small probability that two people who don't get along really well can argue, disagree, and then come back together. That's great. But fundamentally don't like each other, then I can't think of any examples where guys like that went on and just killed it.
No, my story, right?
Yeah.
And, we're still really good friends, but it just, the dynamics weren't exactly.
And how long did you guys work together before you?
About 6 months, 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through a period of time that I was looking for a co-founder or another CTO, and found him, and we connected, and it was one of those serendipitous. We were surfed together, and it was just like. So I think that, my advice to people is you got to put yourself out there. You got to get in environments. If you are looking for a partner, you need to go to the meetups. You need to go to hackathons. Hackathons are great to just somehow find a new team to work together for a few days. But it's a tough place to be. You feel lonely, but you got to put yourself out there.
No, you do. That's actually interesting. I like that a lot. One of my favorite quotes by entrepreneurs in town, Jonathan Sposato, was when he had sold Picnic, he went around and gave some talks about it. And people were asking, like, how did the acquisition happen? How'd you make that, what'd you do to engineer that? And how'd you make that happen? And he's like, I didn't. And he quoted, I think it was Green Beret, Special Forces, something like that. He said, look, if you're gonna go in and rescue a bunch of hostages, you don't plan out every little bit and then go do that. And the phrase that he used, and I love this, is you put yourself in play and you let the situation develop, right? And putting yourself in play is super important for early stage entrepreneurs. When I think about successful entrepreneurs in Seattle, they are literally one phone call away from virtually anyone they need to talk to.
Very much
right?
So, yeah.
Now take some guy who just left some company and wants to do something. Who's he one phone call away from? His brother, right? So you owe it to yourself to give yourself that advantage by building a network, a quality network. Don't if you turn it into a party and you're just like schmoozing all the time, you're probably missing something.
Yeah.
But thinking again deliberately about what kind of people do I want to meet? Where are they? How can I develop a relationship with them? Not just go asking for stuff. How do I give back? And starting to deliberately surround yourself with really smart people who you can tap for expertise and advice and so forth. Super critical, and I think it's often overlooked. It's one of the reasons why I've continued to build Startup Poker 2.0, because the relationships that come out of, you get the right people together who share enough commonality but can help each other in ways that they might not otherwise be able to find that help from peers.